Hello and welcome back to JoeSchaeferFlyFishing.com. I'm Joe Schaefer. Today I'm going to show you a variation that I use quite often on Rainbow Warrior. The original pattern is an exceptional pattern, of course, but today I'm going to show you my variation. It's called the Bubbleback Rainbow Warrior. And we'll start off with, I usually use this pattern during mayfly hatches and when the water's off color with our water and runoff and stuff like that coming up this year. It's going to get pretty ugly pretty fast, so this is a great pattern to have with you, especially for those early bluing hatches and different mayfly hatches that are going on. The hook I use here is a 2487 in size 18, and this is a little bigger. I tie these quite often in 18s for more towards the summertime and during runoff, but you can tie them all the way down to size 22 as well. So we'll start off with a little red UTC thread in 70. We'll do a little jam knot here at the front just to start this fly off. Next material up that we're going to use is a little red wire. I use small typically. We're going to tie that in just on the side of the hook here, going back to just to the bend, connecting wraps all the way back, just down the bend there. Next material is our tail material, and it's going to be a Hungarian partridge tail. I really like working with Hungarian partridge. I don't count the fibers or anything. I just take a little shoot off there, just a little pinch. Then I'll loose wrap this in, making sure everything lines up. If my tail's a little bit too short, I'll adjust it from there. This one kind of turned out perfect, so we'll tie that one in all the way to the front with those fibers. It's kind of building our taper here a little bit. And we'll cut off that excess. Hungarian partridge is a lot easier to work with than some of the other materials, so it's a real good option for you on your tails. Next up, we're going to use some medium opal mirage tinsel, and we're going to tie that in right along the edge here. You could use small as well for the smaller flies and sizes. I use medium on my 18s. So we're going to tie that in, connecting wraps forward. As you can see, I'm not covering everything here. We don't need to get too crazy with it. I'm trying not to build as much as possible. We're going to wrap that. We're going to wrap that tinsel around, not grabbing our wire there. And we're going to connecting wrap that forward, just laying down the base of the body here. We're going to come to the top. We're going to make a couple wraps. Let me get this wire out of the way. The only thing about this fly is you got a few more materials with it, so you got to kind of manage them a little bit. 2 wraps over the top, then I'm going to make a couple wraps in front just to secure that, and then cut off the excess there. So there's the first part of our fly. Now we're going to wrap forward with our wire, palmering it forward, making a nice little rib, going forward to about the 3/4 point. And then we're going to take a small glass bead, just like in our just like in the bubbleback minge, the regular one that you can see on the site. This is kind of what I do for it. We're going to put that bead on there. And the easiest thing to do is just kind of turn it upright, find that hole, and let it kind of fall on there. We're going to turn it to the top. We're going to set that bead in place where we want it. That's a little too far forward there. Right there's where we want it. I'm going to secure it with a couple wraps, usually 3 turns, and then I'm going to tie off that wire. It's very important to do those couple wraps there because that'll help secure the bead and it won't come off as easy. We'll helicopter that wire off. We're going to make a couple turns behind the bead, just securing that wire on the other side, and building up our thorax just a little bit. Now the last part of this fly, we're going to take some South Scud dubbing in rainbow color. It's a great dubbing. We're going to take a little bit off there, not too much. A little goes a long ways with this stuff, just like I say in a lot of things, but I like the bushiness of this too as well, so I don't get too crazy with trying to make these the dubbing part of this real precise and real tight. I just kind of put it on there, make a few wraps, build a little bit of thorax there, and that's perfect. I like the bugginess of it. I like those little fibers sticking out. I don't typically bind that down too much as far as dubbing. I'm going to whip finish here, taking that off the front, making a little red head there, and that's our bubble back rainbow warrior. You can adjust it just a little bit. I typically comb out the fibers. If there's anything like excessively long, I'll come in here and just trim it a little bit, especially around the eye here. I don't want, makes it a little tougher to get some tip it through there. But that's the rainbow bubble back rainbow warrior. One of my favorite patterns for midge hatches, especially when they're emerging in darker water. And tie yourself up a bunch. Great little pattern. Please leave me any questions or comments. Please subscribe. Thank you, and have a great day.